Y'all, we're gonna start off with Jerrick's team. I'm putting him on the spot. All right, and Jerrick, you are going first. The Chiefs, I believe 3 straight losses. I believe, right?
Chiefs.
Am I saying
Chiefs.
Broncos, Cowboys, Texans? All right. All 3 of these games have been must-win games for them, and they've lost all 3 of them for different reasons in all 3 games. All right. So, Jerrick, as of right now, the Chiefs are not in the playoffs, and as of right now, their playoff chances are slim, especially with the Chargers winning that game against the Eagles on Monday night. So, Jerrick, are the Chiefs cooked? Yes or no, and tell us why. Are your Chiefs cooked? Yes or no?
First of all, they're not on a 3 game losing streak. Just to clear that up, they beat the
So three
Colts
of the
before
last
they played the
four.
Cowboys.
So 3 of the last
3 of the
four.
last 4, yeah.
Sorry,
3 of the last
sorry.
4, yeah.
So 3 of the last 4 they've lost. My bad. Oh, that's so much better. 3 of the last four.
It's
Sorry.
really 4 of the last 5, but I mean, hey,
Oh, really? That's even worse. But
yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, y'all. 3 of the last 4 games, not 3 game win losing streak. That's my fault. Go ahead.
Um, I'm I want to say they're cooked, but chances are very, very slim. They no longer control their own destiny, which happened after pretty much after the Cowboys game. They are in the way of controlling their own destiny, and especially like you said with the Chargers win on Monday night, that was big because they are still 3 games behind the Chargers. Had the Chargers lost, the Chargers would have been 8-5, and then of course we know the Chiefs play them this week, and the Chargers finish off the season playing they play the Broncos, and they have another tough matchup on their schedule. But I won't say they're cooked just because I've seen crazy things happen at the end of the season. We've been witness to our own team, the Steelers, getting in off of a crazy 4 game stretch at the end of the season that just teams started losing. You know, the AFC is very competitive. Any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. But if you had to ask me today what I to put my money on it, I don't think we would see the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. It's just they've been playing very inconsistent this year. Very, very inconsistent. We've seen them play very, very high in terms of games like going against the Lions, even games good enough to beat the Colts. But they've also been very, very low. And this Sunday is actually one of the lowest we've seen this season. They did play a great Texans defense who holds teams to under 20 points. I think the only team to score more than 20 points is I think the Broncos and the Seahawks maybe against this team. Like that just alludes to how great their defense is. They're number 1 in scoring defense, but you still have to do more as the Chiefs. And I think that that fourth down decision by Andy Reid that might be what ended their season. Fourth down, game was tied early, still a lot of time left. You did not have to go for it, but you went for it. You didn't get it, and they end up scoring, and now your team's down and you're behind once again, which is bad because in the start of the second half, they came out swinging. You were down 10-0, and you came out and you just like that cut the lead. So that call right there is a little bit questionable. It left a lot of us scratching our heads, especially going against the best defense in the league, and especially at a time where your offense isn't as good as they've been in previous years. So I think that call might have cost them the season. I'm not gonna say they're cooked, just because I do have faith. You know, like I said, crazy things have happened, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't.
All right. So Jerrick, the Chiefs guy, said that the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs as of right now today. Okay, understandable. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. All right. Rell, is Jerrick's Chiefs cooked?
Um, no, sir. They're not cooked at all. You gotta really, really think. This is the most talented quarterback we ever seen. One of the most brilliant head coaches we ever seen. This is one of the greatest teams ever seen. This is a dynasty right here, like a literal dynasty. And I just like Jared just said. I personally just seen way too many crazy things go wrong. It's 4 more weeks in the season. We're talking about this thing like it's 2 games left, 2 weeks left, and they're back 2 games. They're 2 games back of a playoff spot, and it's 4 weeks left, guys. You guys in the everybody in America, you guys better pray and pray and pray and pray and pray that these Chiefs do not get into the playoffs. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that right now. And if you are counting them out, they're 2 games back. Do your homework. They're 2 games back. Do your homework on playoff scenarios going all the way to the last week. And on top of that, NFL teams are way better than they were 5 years ago. It's not just a win on any given Sunday. It's not just a win. So if the Patriots could drop any game, any of these teams in the wild card spot could drop a game. The Chargers, Bills, Texans, they could drop multiple games. We all know the Colts are done.
Yeah. So I hear you, Rell, and I agree with the last thing you said, right? You better pray they don't get in because they do get in, they are a scary team. But I'm gonna go with Jerrick. I think they're cooked, and the reason being is because the what surprised me on Sunday, right? We've seen games this year where Patrick Mahomes kind of sold the bag, right? We've seen games this year where Travis Kelce kind of sold the bag, right? We've seen games where the defense kind of sold the bag. And throughout the years, you can say we've seen that on rare occasions, but we have seen it. The one thing we have not seen is Andy Reid sell a game. The one thing that I don't think I've ever said on this podcast is that Andy Reid lost them that game. That's one thing I don't think I've ever said before in my life. But on Sunday, in prime time, in the biggest moment, in the gotta have it quarter, in the fourth quarter, he made the biggest mistake. Right? It's 10 minutes and 22 seconds, I believe, left in the game, and the score is tied, and the Texans offense hasn't done anything in the second half. They haven't done anything. Right? I think they had like negative total yards up until that point, right? But you decided, and I feel like this was he felt the pressure. He felt it. Season on the line, dynasty on the line, we in a tough spot. I gotta make a move. And he went for it on that 4th and 1. Anybody in America, I believe, would not have gone for it on that 4th and 1 because look at how the game is going. I get it, it's 1 yard, right? But look at how the game is going at that point. The Texans offense couldn't do anything. Your defense has all the momentum. You're good. Just punt the ball to the Texans, let them go the length of the field, and then they probably won't. They'll give it right back to you, then go put up some points. But I think he felt that pressure. He felt it. And he said, go for it. And what could go wrong went wrong. I believe it was a drop on the play. But then you gave the Texans great field position, 30 yards to get into the end zone. They got into the end zone. That shifted the whole momentum. The second half belonged to the Chiefs, like Jerrick said. But as soon as that play happened, everything changed. Right? So for Andy Reid to sell the game like that, I can't recognize this Chiefs team. I can't. Because one thing that we've made like a consistent saying is the Chiefs will not lose a game. You got to go beat them, right? The Chiefs lost that game. And one thing that Logan said on the NFL Vote, he said that the coaching staff for the Chiefs don't change. So they will always have that advantage, right? Think about it. Look at how long Spag's been there. Look at how long Andy Reid been there. Look at how long the special teams coach been there. So that's been like the biggest flex, the most underrated but biggest flex of the Chiefs. But as of late, Spags ain't been drawing it up like that. Like outside of now the Texas game, he was all right in the second half at least. But Spags ain't been doing that great with that defense. And then Andy Reid sold the bag in that game against Texans. So I think this team is cooked because I cannot recognize them. Mind you, they've lost 4 of the last 5 games, like Jerrick said. That's no bueno, especially whenever you need to win these games to get into the playoffs. And the problem is, Rell, with the playoff picture, yes, I get it. It's very competitive, right? These teams can drop games. The Chiefs are behind. But not only are they behind, but those 3 teams, because the division is done, right? They can't win the division. The Broncos got the division locked up. So not only are they behind, but those teams in the wild card, the Chargers, Bills, and Texans, all have the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Chiefs. They all beat the Chiefs this season, right? So the Chiefs are like even more behind because they didn't beat those wild card teams. So yes, they play the Chargers again, right? So they have a chance, but it's very unlikely. And
I
I
was
get it.
just
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask that because, like I said earlier, the Chargers have a tough schedule to finish. Chiefs this week, they play the Cowboys after that, and then they play the Texans and the Broncos. So they now like the Cowboys could beat them, but what if the Chiefs beat them, the Texans beat them, and the Broncos beat them? They'll have the same record. Will the tie go to the like who will get that tiebreaker?
I believe it goes to it's either division record first or it's common opponent. That's what I learned the other day. That common opponent is a determining factor when it comes to the tiebreaker. So I think remember when the Ravens and Steelers had the same record and the Ravens was ahead. I think it was a common opponent thing that put them ahead of us. Is what I believe. Real, what you know about that?
Yeah. So I know for a fact, like you guys just said, the head-to-head where record matters. Then I think it has to do with conference record and division record.
Yeah,
That's what I think it has to do with next. I'm
yeah.
pretty
I'm
sure.
looking at
That's even what I heard on on ESPN on
Yeah.
Monday.
So if you look at the playoff picture right now, it says like people win the tiebreak because of head-to-head win percentage or because of the best win percentage in conference games,
Yeah,
right?
that's the chart. The Chargers and the Bills
Yeah,
tiebreaker is that.
conference games. Yeah, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of different scenarios, but I know one of them is common opponent. So I think with the Chargers and Chiefs, if they do have the same record, right? If the Chargers do lose 3 of these last 4 games, then I think it will come down to either conference record or it'll be common opponent because the head to head will be tied. It'll be 1-1 if the Chiefs win. But the Chiefs got to pretty much win out. And it's not impossible to do, but the way they're playing, I cannot guarantee them to win out, if that makes sense. Because the rest of their schedule is the Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. Now, the Titans and Raiders, we can say that's a wash, right? They should be able to get those 2 wins. But that Broncos game, the Broncos still fighting for first place in their in the conference. So they're gonna really want that game. It's not like the Broncos gonna sit their people down and then not really care. No, they want that win because they want to have home field advantage. And then the Chargers, they still fighting for their life too because they want to stay in that wild card spot. So it's gonna be tough.
The one game the Broncos will sit their players if they still have the first place lead is Week 18 versus the Chargers. So
Because
that
they've been
should be
last
a
year.
game the Chargers win. Should be.
Dang,
But
Here's the
also the
problem.
Broncos still got to win first seed.
that
The
would
Patriots still
be.
right there.
So if the Patriots now, the only reason why the Broncos wouldn't sit at the end is if the Patriots lose this week and the
Mhm.
Broncos win out. But also we have to look at what the tiebreaker scenario between the Broncos and the Patriots would be. Because let's say the Patriots lose this week but win out after that, and the Broncos sit their players week 18 and lose, now they would be tied again. And it depends on the tiebreaker. So I think the Broncos are just going to play everybody all the way out unless the Patriots drop multiple games.
Because right now the Broncos have the tiebreak over the Patriots because of conference win percentage.
At the end of Week 17, they'll know the playoff scenarios to know if like, oh, I got to rest my players or we got to
It
get
depends on how the next couple weeks go. So
Yeah.
it just don't look good for the Chiefs right now. And this is not now. Don't get it twisted. They're not. You can say the dynasty is put at hold, or you can say it's over because they missed the playoffs. Not because they. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of the timetable, because I think they can be back in it next year. Is what I'm saying. They can be back next year. But if somebody says the dynasty's over, you can make that argument because they missed the playoffs. They didn't lose in the playoffs. They missed it. But I'm saying they'll be back next year. They'll be back for sure next year. You don't think they'll be back next year?
They was for sure that 1,000% like run away with the AFC
back.
next year. But this is
Be
what I'm
back.
saying.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors, they missed the playoffs that one year. Their dynasty wasn't over. So like anybody that says the dynasty is over doesn't know football. Come on.
But for me, I don't count that year as part of the dynasty. For me, that year that they won with Jordan Poole and them, I don't count that year as a part of the dynasty. You can.
Oh, that's Steph's Warriors. That's Steph, Clay, and Draymond's Warriors. That's
and
the
Kerr.
dynasty.
And Kerr.
That's the dynasty.
Was Livingston still playing? Or no, I don't think so.
Livingston was there. I think
Iggy was.
I think Iguodala was like on the roster. He wasn't playing, but he was on the roster. That's part of the dynasty.
I don't look at it like that simply because of that little pause right there. Right, the dynasty was them going to the finals every single year.
So what about the Patriots?
I just hit a
So what about the Patriots? The
Listen,
years
I'm
that they
sure.
didn't go, when does it? So do they have different dynasties within that one organization?
Patriots have like 2, I believe. That's what they say. They say the Patriots have 2 dynasties. That's what they say, and that yeah. So it's not one big dynasty; it's 2. It's for the Patriots. It's what the argument is, and I agree with that. If there's a pause or if there's a moment where this team looked nothing like I said, if the Patriots make the playoffs every single year in that big span of Brady's career, and lost in the playoffs or went to the Super Bowl, then that to me can be a part of the dynasty because they will still dominate and get to the playoffs. I think that little break, and it could be when Brady was hurt, right? When they didn't make the playoffs. So same with the Warriors, when they didn't make it, that's when I just sit back and I say, okay, that's it for that. Start something else. Or that's it for that. Let's just say they got another ring outside the dynasty. That's how I feel about it. Once again, Rell, you have a point, right? It's still Steph's Warriors. It's still right. So this is still Mahomes Chiefs. It's still, I get it. But for me, I would say it paused and then see what they can do next year. But they're not done in terms of, for the foreseeable future. But for this year, I think they're done. But Rell, don't worry. Don't get comfortable because you're next.
Like and sub and leave a comment down below. Yo.